I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, TT, two-turn baby girl, you know me. Still with the dolls that I grew aside. All the niggas around me, die and they die. Gotta watch the time, cause it's flying right by. I'm outside in an AMG.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Day McClay, coming back with another video, produced, created, and edited by your girl. So before we get into the video, I want to remind you all to make sure you are like, commenting, and subscribing. This is a small YouTube channel. I am a small YouTuber, and any and everything helps. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So today we will be talking about femininity, feminine energy, the feminine urge, all that stuff. Now, this is the main reason why I even started my channel, but because of fears and just overthinking, I did not post a lot of my content. So now in this video in particular, we're going to be talking about the 5 things you should do before actually starting your feminine journey. Now, I know that resting in your feminine energy and embodying femininity is all the rage. It is trending right now. It is something that a lot of women and some men are trying to do in this moment, especially because we're in an age of awakening. But I feel like a lot of people are just jumping into this journey and not really understanding a lot of the steps you need to do before actually starting your journey, and that's where I come in. So I took the time to actually write down a few things that I feel like everybody should do before starting the journey. This is what I did before actually diving deep into my feminine journey. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, before I actually start giving you all the tips, I definitely want to put out a disclaimer. These are my opinion, these are my tips, this is what I came up with, and this is coming from a place of love. So on to tip number 1. So the first tip is forgiving yourself. I think before anyone dives into any journey, whether it's spiritual, financial, mental, all that kind of stuff, whatever journey you are about to embark on, you need to forgive yourself for all the things that you've done in your past that you may be embarrassed about. Things in your past that you may have done to other people, yourself, that you are not the proudest of. You have to give yourself that space in order to grow from where you once was and become the person that you really want to be. And if you don't forgive yourself or let that go, then you will be stuck in that headspace of you feeling as though you're not worthy for the change that you're about to have. Forgiving yourself also teaches you to have more compassion for yourself, give yourself more grace, and be nicer to yourself overall, because when you're starting this journey, you don't need any more extra pressure. We already have enough pressure from our family, sometimes our friends, and we definitely have a lot of pressure from society. So the best thing you can do to yourself, for yourself, is to forgive what you once did or who you once were. Show yourself a little compassion. Be nice to yourself. Number 2, find your reason why. Now, I will honestly say out of all the 5 tips I'm going to give you, this is the most important one, because you don't want to do this for anyone else but yourself. You don't want to do it for your ex. You don't want to do it for the boyfriend or the husband that you want to get. You don't want to even do it for your friends or your family or society. You want to do it for you, because you are the most important. You are the priority. And I feel like a lot of us tend to change who we are because we want to get back at somebody, because we want to show someone they should have believed in us a little bit more. So you're basically seeking external validation from other people before you even start your journey, and that's not what being in your feminine energy is about. It's not seeking validation from other people. It's finding that validation within yourself and being able to stand in yourself without needing that from anybody. Because one thing is for sure, when you start your feminine journey, you're going to have a lot of moments where you're tested and where you're going to be wanting to seek validation from other people to know that you're doing the right thing, and that's not how this works. Think about why you're doing this. What is your reason? Do you want to start this journey because you're ready to start making the necessary changes to have healthier relationships? That is a better way to approach it, as opposed to doing it because you're still processing the trauma that someone did to you because you weren't feminine or because you acted a certain way. Do you want to do it to have more confidence in yourself? That is another valid reason to do this. Your journey will go a lot smoother, and it will definitely be more fulfilling if you come from that place instead of doing it for external things, or doing it because you think you should be doing it because you see everybody else doing it. Number 3, research. Now, before you even jump in or even think about doing your feminine journey, you need to do some research. During this time, you need to be going on YouTube, you need to be Googling. So please use Google. Girl, it is free. The search engine is huge. You will find the question you need to be answered. You need to be reading books. I have a crap ton of books that I actually purchased in the beginning of my feminine journey, and I will leave my Amazon storefront down in the description box down below. You can take a peek at it if you want. If you don't want to, no pressure. But this is just going to be a nice link for you all to look at and just see what books I did purchase in order to help me on my journey. Podcasts. There's so much information out here. There is no reason why people should be skipping this step. During this time that you are researching, you should be researching how to heal past your traumas, shadow work, learn how to communicate, and you should be looking at the different archetypes of a feminine woman, because it's going to paint a picture for you. It's going to show you different forms of femininity that you may like. You're going to find an archetype that is 80% of what you want and what you need, but the other 20% is just not you, and that's okay. There are a bunch of different embodiments of this feminine energy. That's the whole purpose of researching, because you want to see all these different types and pull and pick from what you relate to and then make that your own form of femininity. For instance, when I was doing my research, I was finding a lot of videos of women saying that feminine women, classy women, do not curse. Now, baby, I don't know about them, but I'm gonna stay true to myself. Now, I am not a sailor at the mouth like I was before, because baby, before my feminine journey, I was saying all types of F-bombs, B-words. Your girl, I had a vulgar mouth, let's be honest. And I do curse every now and again, but just, I'm not as vulgar as I used to be. I mean, if I'm mad, if I'm sad, if I'm frustrated, of course a little cuss word, it's gonna slip out, baby. It's gonna slip out. So I'm not gonna sit here and embody something that I don't completely agree with and what is not, does not suit me. I would be a hypocrite if I sat here and told you all not to curse when I do. And so that's what I mean about researching being super important when you're on your journey, because had I not did the research and I just took it for the first few people that I saw, I would completely have changed my personality, and this journey wouldn't have felt fulfilling as it does now. Now, I know we all want the aesthetically pleasing, you know, self-care routine, nighttime routine, daytime routine, midday routine, all that stuff. I know we want that, but you have to work your way up to that, sis. No one starts their feminine journey or any type of self-care journey knowing how to do that. That stuff is sometimes so foreign to people that they don't know where to start. They don't know what to do. So that's why, again, research is important, but learning how to prioritize self-care is going to be your fourth step. This is what's gonna, you know, it's gonna lay down the groundwork for you. It's gonna help you figure out what things do you need in order to be comfortable during this journey, and what you're going to need in general to navigate all of life, because you're not gonna be able to navigate life the same way as you did before starting your feminine journey. So it's important for you to figure out what your likes and dislikes are, and figure out what you feel like you need in order to relax. Now, while we know self-care is super important for our mental and emotional and physical health at times, a lot of us are workaholics. We don't know how to stop and smell the roses. We don't know how to stop and put ourselves first. Now, the ways you can start taking care of yourself and start practicing self-care is by, one, getting a therapist, because a lot of us have a lot of unhealed trauma that's definitely gonna pose as a blockage for us while we're on our feminine journey. So you might as well get in the habit of tending to your mental health now before you get in deep. You get in deep with your feminine journey. And if you don't have insurance for a therapist, there are definitely some free options out there, or even more budget-friendly options out there for people to find someone to talk to. Or if you don't want to get a therapist, a life coach will also help, but this should not be in replace of a therapist, because they're not specialized or have the accolades behind them in order to know how to work with you through trauma. Another way taking care of yourself looks like is running yourself bubble baths, doing feminine baths, yoni steams, exfoliating your skin, building up a skincare regimen. It doesn't have to be anything super expensive. It can just be something that makes you feel good about yourself. Putting on a face mask, watching your favorite movie, eating your favorite snack, eating your favorite meal. Those are all ways to take care of yourself. So in this time of practicing self-care, you just need to figure out what you like and then go from there and make it a habit for you to always put yourself first, or to always give yourself that space to relax and be vulnerable when you feel like you're overworking yourself. Because now, this last tip is definitely another important tip, and it is to take some time for yourself. Your feminine journey is already going to be a solo journey, so you might as well get used to being alone, and you might as well get used to figuring things out on your own. It's okay if you want to Get some help from your friends or someone that you trust or someone that's also on the same journey as you, but ultimately everything will be left up to you to figure out. And with this time that you have to yourself, you don't want to get distracted. You want to stay focused on the overall goal, which is to heal, become more vulnerable, become that girl, become the person that you always wanted to be, and find fulfillment in life. Another way that this alone time is going to be super beneficial to you is because it's going to allow you the space to start your healing process and start that inner work before you actually do dive into the outer appearance or the different characteristics that you want to embody. You need to work through those traumas before you start trying to add things on top of yourself, okay? You can start on your journaling, you can start your shadow work, and just start. That way, all of this doesn't seem like a huge surprise when you're told to do this by your therapist, or you get triggered and feel as though you need an outlet. And another thing this time alone will do is help you figure out what your support system is going to look like, because everyone is not going to be able to go with you to the next level. So it's going to be important for you to decipher who is going to be an asset to you or who's going to be a liability. So use this time to self-reflect, journal, think, meditate, pray, whatever you have to do, and see if those people will be an asset to you during your journey. And if you can't honestly say yes, then it might be time for you to let them go or just place them strategically in your life, because you don't have to completely cut off anybody. You don't have to go ghost on anybody. You could just keep them in your life, but at a distance. And these are all the tips I have for you on what you should do before starting your feminine journey. Now, last final words I want to give you all before I actually sign off is to please take your time, love bugs. This is not a race. It is a marathon. You're going to be on this feminine journey for a very, very long time. You're going to be tested. You're going to have to go through a lot of trials and tribulations to figure out what archetype of a feminine woman you want to be. It is not cut and dry. It is not black and white. There's a lot of gray area in your feminine journey, and I want you to be okay with that. I give you all these tips because I want you to be a little bit more prepared for your feminine journey and have a lot of tools under your belt before just diving completely deep into this entire lifestyle change. So please take your time. Please give yourself grace. Please remember to take care of yourself. If you need some help, please feel free to DM me on Instagram or leave a comment in the comment section down below, and we can have a conversation on what you're struggling with and how you want to proceed with your feminine journey. But anyways, I want to thank you all for watching this entire video. Please make sure you all are like, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you again for tuning into my video, and see you all next time. Bye.